all can see. Hello, hello. Hello and welcome to my page. My name is Tammy Neff and I'm excited to be here today. I'm a little bit early for an event, but I wanted to give them time to get me in to the creative crafter community. And thank you, Tammy, for inviting me. She's just finishing up her video now. And so, like I said, I'm just a snap early, but I have been here making some flowers because today's blooming, what was it, blossom event, blooming blossom. Oh shoot, I think we're blooming today. Hi you guys, hi Debbie. And anyway, yeah, so she's finishing and she messaged me just the other day and hi Pam, hi Texas Breeze Creations. She asked if I could be in this event tonight, and I said sure. And so the event is about blooms and blossoms, and it is, she said watering cans or flowers or garden tools was like the theme. So first I was thinking paper flowers. Hi Penny, it's been so long since I've done paper flowers, but I thought, there's been a project that's been on my mind that I've kind of wanted to do and finish up, and so I'm going with that one. So we're going to mess around with some clay, and I thought I'd leave my box up here. I had this huge American Art Clay Company Moist Clay School Home Studio. You guys, oh here we go, Marblex Clay. I get it at Hobby Lobby. It was $30. I got a whole box of it. What was this, like 5 pounds? 25 pounds. Well, there you go. No wonder I can hardly pick it up. Hi, you guys. Hello. There we are. Now we're in yeah, I can hardly lift it. But I've been chiseling away at it here. I've had it for quite a while. It's this big block of clay. So I've been using this for, oh gosh, probably a good year or so. I don't do a whole lot with clay. I don't know why. That's what my friend Julie's saying. Why would you buy such a big thing of clay? I'm like, I don't know. Felt like what little bit of stuff I was doing with clay, I had to keep going in and getting more. So I don't even remember, you guys. I don't even remember what I make with clay. But anyway, I have this big slab of clay, and I thought I better use it up before it gets all dried out. And of course we're not going to use it all here, but I am going to use a little bit. Looks like we're in the Crafty Creators community. So hi you guys, and I'm glad to be here, and I appreciate Tammy for inviting me. And so I showed you the clay that I'm using, and then I'm just using cornstarch. I've seen a lot of people doing this, and it really does help not stick to your molds. And I've got all kinds of molds. You know, you can find them on Amazon. I think this one is a candy mold. I have IOD molds, but you can buy these molds. Well, mostly Amazon is where I get mine. Hi, Marilyn. And so anyway, I had this picture frame, and it was white. Then it was cream. Then I painted it black. I added some gold, painted it black. I haven't loved it. Hi, Shayla. I haven't loved it. I didn't love it black. So it's an old frame. So I thought I would, shoot. Oh, shoot, my daughter just called me. Oh, I hope that doesn't mess us all up. Hi, Clara. Hi, Connie's Creations. I hope you guys are still here. Shoot. Yeah, that was Summer. She just called. Oh well. Oh, good, you're still here. I see hearts. Thank you for letting me know that. So anyway, you can get your molds anywhere. I've got a couple here that I can reach. I did a few earlier today, but yeah, I've got all kinds of molds here. And so I started telling you about my old frame that I have. I have this old frame, and like I said, I've had it every color you can imagine. There's what the back of it looked like. I even think at one point I had the glass for it, but I don't have that anymore. And you know, it's fun to find these old frames. Let's see, I paid $15 for this frame. But so what I've started doing is attaching flowers to the frame, molded clay flowers. Some of them are wet, some of them are dry. And then I thought I needed something a little chunkier at the top. So, hi Kathy. There's Tammy. Yay, I'm glad you guys are here. And Kathy's from Maryland. Oh, I bet there are some beautiful lakes in Maryland. Kind of talked about going there this summer. We have friends that have boated there a few times and we never was able to go. So yeah, I thought about that, Kathy. I saw Maryland there. It'd be a fun place to check out the water. It's not too far from Ohio. So anyway, okay. So I just put the clay in the mold. I added the cornstarch. Get you down here where you can see. I added the cornstarch. Just cornstarch is just a white powder, and I just used a chip brush to get it in there. And then that makes it pop out so much easier. So I just picked this small little leaf one right here, and I thought I would just make, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 leaves here with you. I don't know that I need to dust it every time, but since I'm on camera, I think I will. I had them sticking a few times, so I'm only going to do a couple of these because I want to try some chunkier flowers. I played around with it a little bit, and I kind of like the one I came up with. So I thought we would do some chunky flowers around the bottom, and then I have a little surprise that I think we will, we're going to try together as well. I did do a sample of what is my idea to make sure I could do it, but it worked out. I think it's going to be super cute, and I think we're really going to like this frame. I think we're going to add a lot of dimension to it, and I do. Oh, did I not dust? See, I don't think I dusted it this time. So when they stick and get yucky, I'm over it. I don't want to do anymore. Okay, I'm done. I'm not doing that leaf anymore either. I had some other ones stick, so we're done. We're done with the leaves. What do I have? 4. I have 4 leaves. So let's and the glue. If you guys do this, you really need to let your clay dry. There is a Formflex clay. I have 2 packs of it in my refrigerator at home. I've never used it before, but I know that it's flexible. But what I like about the idea of that is that it bends with your project. So like right here, I don't have a leaf right here. So I like the idea of bending it. Like all of these flowers, I just laid them flat on the table to dry. So when I glue them down, they're kind of sticking up. I might have to fill in with a little caulking or something like that. So really, ideally, you should let them dry, and you could kind of do that to get the shape that you want it to dry in, and then, you know, tomorrow after it's dry, you can just lay it there and it's already curled up. But I practiced with a chunkier flower earlier today, and you can, oops, I didn't mean to hot glue it. Oh shoot. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. If not, I'll switch it out. I've been using this tacky glue, and that's a habit. I can move this out of here so I don't do that again. Whoops. I didn't mean hot glue. I don't know how that'll hold. We'll see. We're going to find out. I'll let you know. I mean, it seems good. So we should be okay. So anyway, my idea was to build this all up and then paint it all out the same color. And then originally I thought I was going to add a nest. I've got a big nest right here, but since, you know, I've had a little bit of time to think about this, I have another idea. so, and welcome to my brain. That's how my brain rolls. Yes, I have tried paper clay, and I love it. I have so many projects I've done with it, but I kind of like this actual clay. The paper clay might not hold quite as well for the flowers of what I was wanting to do today. So we'll see. I'll show you. I'm going to show you now what I was wanting to do. But I just like, in case somebody's like, I don't know how to make those flowers, you can just press them right in your molds. Just dust them at each time with your cornstarch and you'll be fine. So I just take I don't want too big. I don't want too big. So I've got just a little tiny piece here. I can make it bigger if I decide to. And then we're gonna roll it up into a ball. And then I'm gonna take this ball and I'm gonna smash it. And I'm gonna smash it like around the edges. I want it to be really thin, like a petal of a flower would be. You love the IOD clay? Yes, that's what I've heard. That's awesome. Another one, I really love the Crayola clay. I've heard the DAS clay is great. I have this and I need to use it up. So then once you get your petal, I'm going to pinch it together here like this, okay? So, and they're all going to be kind of different sizes and such, and we're going to just kind of make our own little flower. So another little dollop, just a little ball of whatever kind of clay you like. It doesn't matter what kind of clay you use. I'm sure it's all going to do the same thing, okay? So just use your clay of choice. As long as you keep this particular clay wrapped, like I said, I've had it for a very, very long time. I've been messing around with some 3-dimensional molds, and I should have brought them over here. I can see it, they're right there. Christmas trees, Easter bunnies, vintage Santa Clauses. What else do I have over there? Oh, pumpkins. So I think that's going to be fun to share with you guys how they finish out. I just wanted to make several. So here we go again. So I'm doing different shapes, different sizes, different shapes. And then you're going to stick them together. So there's our little petal. But yeah, I think those are going to be really fun to do. I bought ice cream molds, old metal ice cream molds, and I'll be showing you guys that. And I've made several now with the ice cream molds. And the first couple that I did didn't turn out super great, to be honest. When you opened the molds, you had 2 parts instead of 1 solid. And so I've kind of been messing around with it, and I think I've perfected it. So I've had success every time. I think I've done, let's see, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've done 5, and I've got 1 more Santa upstairs. Julie found a Santa mold the last show we went to, so we're going to use hers as well. She's going to bring them over. I'm going to make some with her molds, so we'll have some different ones. So if you're not following me, I would love it if you stay tuned, because I'll be showing you that. And this isn't typically what I don't do a lot with with clay, but I do love the vintage look, you know, and so a lot of Victorian type vintage frames had a lot of flowers, and I don't know, when she said flowers, she wanted something flowers. I just instantly thought of that black frame that I had with, it does have some flowers on it. I mean, there are some flowers here already molded in. But I've got stuff all over it, but you can see there. So there are some flowers already on it, but I just want to add more. So I'm gonna try to even paint. Hi, Mary Beth. I'm gonna try to even paint tonight. I might be pushing it a little bit because this clay really, really needs to dry. But so there's that, and then I might add, I think I'm gonna add a couple. I'm just gonna add a couple more. I'm just working my way around. I've got all different sizes. Okay. I'm just working my way around. So this would be the middle, and there you go. That probably makes more sense to you now. But it's kind of a fun little thing to do. But you could leave your petals lay out to dry and then try to put them together. But I think they're better to work together while they're wet. And I'm just smashing this down. Whether you get an oval or a circle, it doesn't matter. And if you get the oval, you know, you can fold the long way or you can fold the short way. Every way you do it makes a different looking petal. I'm not doing any rhyme nor reason to it, okay? I'm just trying to make sure that my edges of my petal is really thin. Can you see how thin that is? That's what's the most important to me, to be the most realistic looking flower. Okay, and then I'm gonna stick that one in there, keeping this all open. And then I think I'm just going to do one more here. It looks like I can get one more in there. And I have one more little ball. Let's see what happens when we get one more. If I could do this, you guys, anybody could do it, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it here. But I think I'm going to go ahead. I won't be able to do it today, but I think I'm going to go ahead and kind of grab that, all the dimensions of the flowers with dark wax. And I might even, like I did underneath the black, I might even put a little gold underneath there. So we'll do that together on another one, but I really just wanted to show you how to make the flowers. And then if you were like, well, what are you going to do with them? So I thought I would show you. So there's that much of the flower. Then what I'm going to do for the center of the flower is take just some, even smaller than the petals, make 3 little balls, and just press them in the middle to clean that up. Oh, it's already better. Look, see how it makes more sense. You gotta get the middle covered up where all those little petals are coming together. You kind of got to get that covered up because it's not very pretty. So, okay. Okay. I'm gonna try and get 3 in here. You think you're making them little, but when you get them on the flower, that was kind of big. I think I need to make that one just a snap smaller. All right. So I made 1.5 of these already. So I made 1, and then I made just a partial one. And so we're going to see if that's enough. I just took a little bit off of that one ball because I felt like it might be, it might be a little bit too big. So. Whoops, and then there, that one's kind of split. So there you go. So I just repaired it a little bit. And you can like wrinkle them however you want to do. But so here's your little flower. So I've already stuck one. I already stuck one, this partial one I was talking about. It's right here, and I've got to get my center on here. And I had it on there, but I think I bumped it off. Like I said, this is still super wet. You're really not supposed to push it this hard. So I'm not going to be able to paint this bottom part of this today, but I am going to paint what I can anyway. So there's this one, and then I had another one. I don't know what did I do with my, I had another one already made. Where did it go? I don't know where, oh, there it is. I see it. Okay, so here's my other one that I made. So these are all the same. And now let me see here. So I think I want to put one like under here, like right there. Looks good. I need to see, and I need you to see. So yeah, I don't know that I want it exactly in the middle. Maybe I'll use one of these leaves here that I made just a minute ago. And let's put this, I'm kind of preferring this tacky glue over the hot glue, just because there's so much dimension to the stamps as it is, the flowers, the flowers. So I'm just gonna, these may not hold, you guys. I might have to glue them down another day, but I'm gonna try and get it as completed looking as I can with you guys. Ideally, you'd probably want to leave this lay to the side and let it dry. Let it dry out before you try to glue it. But we're just, since it's all going to be painted, and I can just pop it right off. And I'm kind of not crazy for this spot right here, so I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so let me have a look. Oops, see, I'm already sliding. Yeah, I feel like I need something else right here. Tell you what, I just made one of these. Let's just shove that in there. I feel like I need something to bridge that gap between the two. So, whoops. Let's see if I can't work one in here while it's pliable, a little bendable. Okay. Yeah, okay, got that in. Got that on. Got that on. Okay, 1, 2, oh yeah, 3. I need one more. I think I need one more. But okay, so let's go with our, I'm gonna do our surprise next because I wanna make sure we're gonna have plenty of time. I'm positive we're gonna have plenty of time, but I kinda wanna get this little thing made. Don't know if you guys have ever tried to do anything like this before, but I keep knocking things off. I have all my clay tools in case I decide, like you can get, let me talk about that right now while we're here. You can get fancy with your clay, like so you can take like a little X-Acto knife or something, and you can cut some lines in your petals. Every little thing that you do just makes them just a little bit more realistic. So, and you don't want any like little drags. I just put some little dots in there. I don't want to move my flowers sliding around. But so like just put some little marks in it. I'm not sure you can see. But that adds a little bit too. And then another thing, you know, if I make another one, I'm gonna make another whole flower. Let's see what I do want another flower back here. So let's just go ahead. We've got plenty of time. Let's make one more. These events always make me nervous with time, and I know you're not even supposed to think about that, but we've got more than enough time. It's not that at all. I just want to make sure that I get everything in that I want to get in. So I'm going to whip out another flower while we're just in the mood for flowers, because we are blooming here today in Tammy's event. So, all right, so I squeezed it, I made a little ball, I squeezed it, and then I'm just going around the edge and squeezing it as thin as I can and folding it. Okay, there's my petal. And then I'm going to do it again, a little ball. Okay, squeeze it. This was probably the simplest one I could think of. For you, there's another flower that's kind of fun to do with a roll. And I wanted to show you. Okay, let me see here. All right, let me get these, and then I'm just sticking them together. So there's 2 stuck together. So let me show you, kind of like with the paper flowers. Let me play with this a minute. You can kind of create petals. Get a little powder there. Get this in the powder so it doesn't stick. You can kind of like press your flower down, and you can kind of create little flowers. That's not super great, but you can kind of create little flowers with your clay molds. But I kind of want more dimension. I kind of got that sort of pressed look with my molds. Okay, so I'm not going for that one. But if you're like, oh, I kind of want to make a clay flower and you don't know how, these little clay tools are available in where you buy your clay, and they're all different sizes, and you can use them to curl, and put a little definition in your flower, so it can kind of help you have just a little bit more detail in it. You can't see it on camera, so it's silly to even show you, but you can do that. I use them all the time with paper flowers. That's why I have them. I used all of these with paper flowers and a flip-flop. The bottom, the cushy part of a flip-flop, and when you press that on your piece of paper just curls right up. That's why I have them, but I got them out. I thought, oh, I'll be real official. I'll be real official with these clay tools. But if you're gonna do something with clay, just know that they do have little tools to use for all sorts of things. So again, I have a circle here, just a circle, and I flattened out the edges, and then I'm just going to pull it together. And as you pull it together, I'm going to show you, as you pull it together, it just kind of forms, see? It just magically forms that little petal. It could also be a leaf. Actually, I might be able to pull off a few of those as leaves. Then my biggest thing is like I can get to here and it's fantastic, looks like a clover. But then when you start adding in the other way, it doesn't look as good to me. So that's why I cover the middle with the little balls. So you got your little ball, you're just gonna smash it between your fingers and then just work out, making it thin on the edges. Okay, get it round or whatever shape, you know, if it goes oval, that's fine, doesn't matter. And then you're gonna put it in here in the loop. And again, the middle doesn't look very good. So here's where I am now. And then we're gonna do one more. Well, I think that was gonna be too big, but we'll go with it. So you make your little ball. I do like it to start out round. And then just work your way around, smashing it out. So who all has Easter plans? Who all knows where they're going? Who's coming over? Are you cooking? Are you going to someone else's house? Better late. Aw, you're not late. You're not late. This clay is just from Hobby Lobby. It's just, I bought it in this box, a 25-pound box. It was $29.99 and it was half price. And I saw them there the other day, Marblex clay. But any kind of clay, you guys, any kind of clay, even Play-Doh. You can make this stuff with Play-Doh, okay? You don't have to have clay. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm gonna try, where's that little cutting tool that I have? I'm gonna try and cut this, just see if that makes it go into that spot any nicer, that last one. Let me see if I like that better. Yeah, I kind of do. I don't have quite as much of a tail there, and then you can still adjust them. So here's what I have, okay? And you can still kind of, you know, whoops, that one's got a little bit of a bend. You can have a little water with you and fix if it cracks or does anything funny. So there's where we are. And then I'm gonna add 3 little balls. And just really just one in the middle is nice. I could just do one. There's one. It's just fine, isn't it? We'll just do one. Now I'm not going to attach this one just yet because I got another little thing I want to put in here. So let me cover up my clay, just so, you know, it doesn't get too dried out. Oh, no, wait, I need some. Wait a minute. Okay, so I need some first. So I have this knife. It's just a palette knife, but I use it for my clay to cut off my block. Okay. So I need a chunk here. All right, now we can cover it up. And I don't need it this big, so let me take some off. Okay, this is probably, all right, so how can I tell you? That still feels a little bit big. Let's say big enough to put it in the palm of your hand and wrap your fingers around to touch, okay? So, like, see, my fingers are touching. Let's say about that size. And then, while you have it like that, what I'm gonna make, I'm gonna try and make a bird, okay? So I'm gonna kind of round out his belly. I'm gonna flatten out his tail. Okay, flatten out his tail. That and make it go maybe just, you know, kind of like that. Okay, all right, and I'm liking that. I think that looks like a cute little body of a bird. Okay, then I'm going to take my knife here and I'm going to cut just some lines for the feathers just to kind of make it look a little feathery. You can use an X-Acto knife or, you know, your box tool, whatever knife you have. Yeah, this knife actually, someone dropped some stuff off at the shop one day and they left this knife in there and I thought, my gosh, that is so sharp. And I kept it. I thought it was cool. And if I ever saw the guy again, I'd give it back to him. I had no idea how to get a hold of him. He just stopped by and brought some stuff to get rid of. So anyway, I don't even know who he was. But, okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to try, let's see if we can do this. You've never played with, oh, you always use hot glue. Yes, I think that the clay, I've kind of mixed the two together. So I think you're right. That was kind of my thinking too. That might be a little bit too big, but let me see if I can kind of maybe work a beak out of it. Instead of attaching a beak, I might be able to just bring a beak forward. See if we can do that. Rather than, if you can't get it, or your shape just doesn't seem quite, you know, like you really need to make a cone and attach it, you can do that. That's no big deal. You just kind of drag it back so that you don't see the line where you attached it. That's fine. But I don't know, I'm kind of digging. It's I have a ball and I'm kind of pulling on it, making it into like a teardrop sort of thing here. I'm no bird professional, but I think that's kind of coming along. So then let me see if I can just cut like a, I don't know about that. Just cut something on his beak to make it look like it's open. Actually, I probably could open it. Let's see. I can fix it, you guys. If I ruin it, I can fix it. We have time. So let's see, its top lip would be bigger, so I guess I gotta flip him over. His top lip would be bigger, wouldn't it? Let's see here. Okay. Oh yeah, that's not probably quite, I don't know. Let me chub that back a little bit. We'll see what we all think about this. And then I was trying to think, what can I do for the eyes? And I think maybe one of these little balls just kind of pushed in. I'm not sure. That might look more like a fish than a bird. Let's see. I'm not sure. I think it looks like a fish. Hang on. Sure. But let's get it on its body too. So when you're attaching, so okay, I need to fix this part and kind of flatten down. I'm kind of flattening, making a spot for the head. And then I just kind of want to rough it up a little bit so that the clay will grab. And I think I need to do that on this too. It just kind of helps, gives, if it's smooth on smooth, it might not grab as easily. So yeah, when you got the little lines in there, it kind of helps grab. Let's see, how do we feel? And we kind of want him to look forward. I don't know about that nose. It kind of looks like a duck more than a bird. It's not so fishy now, but I think I have a duck instead of a bird. But you guys, be kind. It's supposed to be a bird. So see how I'm trying to pull that, kind of pull that clay down and connect the two so that it all looks like it's all molded together. And if you were really good, you could probably mold it together yourself. I'm just not that good. So, okay. So I'm just kind of going in and pulling down to get rid of the line where the head meets the body. And you would do the same thing if you added your beak. You just go in around that edge and pull it together. Pull it down. Okay, so there's that. Then I think what he needs is some wings. I don't know if I could match. Oh shoot, I just looked up and you guys were frozen. Dang it. Okay, so hopefully you don't do that anymore. I don't know why that happened. I'm going to keep going. So I know when that happens, when it comes back, and you catch the replay, it'll just be like a little blip, like a little skip. So Tammy, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so, oh, that's way too big of a wing, but that's looking like a wing though. Oh, you guys, I am no artist here at all. Oh, see, even that looks like a wing. So I'm just going to try. I don't really know what a bird wing, I mean, I know what a bird wing looks like, but I don't know what a clay bird wing looks like. Oh, but yeah, I kind of really am digging it here. And then I got to get some lines in it. Okay, so I'm just going to drag some lines in it. I don't know what I'm doing. No, I'm just winging. I'm winging it. I'm just winging it. So here's our little fella. Yeah, there he is in all his glory. And oh my gosh, I can't get over how these little tiny, thanks for the hearts, you guys. I can't get over how these little tiny pieces I ripped off of there kind of looked like a wing. So I'm going to fold, oops, no, I'm not. I might not be able to save that one. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it kind of, I'm like, dang, that kind of looks like a wing if you ask me. So let's see. Oh, I got, yeah, now I'm nervous that you're going to go away. Okay. Now we're good on time. So, here we go. Let's try this wing. Getting it in there. And I don't really want the wings so super molded in. And then let me just drag, no one's probably going to see the back of this, but let me just, you know, just to be really good. And then I suppose he needs like some hair on his top of his head, some feathery, little feathery something going on. Okay, so then my vision, sometimes I get a vision in my mind. It's like, can he pull it off or not? I don't know. Yeah, this is a creative community, right? We're allowed to be try. So the good thing about having your clay wet is you can kind of, you know, slam him down and make him, you know, kind of grab where he needs to grab. But I thought I would add the little birdie here to the frame. So I truly was going to attach a nest. I literally have a nest right there. But I thought, dang, how cute if I could get a bird in here. You like it, you guys? Oh my gosh, thank you, yay. I'm feeling accomplished. I'm feeling, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm thinking I'm liking it too. So, okay, so then I'm gonna put some glue here. And again, I know I'm gluing wet clay. Anybody that's messed with clay is probably gonna say, you can't do that. Well, I know, but I need to kind of do it anyway. And if it comes off or it doesn't, you know, worse, it's going to pop off, right? When it dries, it's going to shrink down and it's probably going to pop off. That's what I'm expecting. But if it does, it'll be molded the way I want it to, and then I can just stick it back on once it's dry. So it's fine. It's perfectly fine if it comes off. Okay, now I'm not loving his tail. I feel like his tail needed to come in. So I'm just going to pinch it in a little bit. It was too, looked like a whale. So let me, let's see, let me use this. This might be too big, I don't know. Just because it will have a little bit of a softer than my finger. Maybe a little bit softer. Okay, yeah, that might be a little bit better. It kind of looks like a duck bird. Don't be too critical at me. It kind of looks like a duck bird. That's okay. Okay, and then I have this last flower, which I was thinking I wanted it over here. But you know what? I more think I want it up here. I think I want it to go up here. So let's get some glue on this. And again, I'm expecting this to all fall apart. So don't feel sad. If you see it sliding everywhere, it'll be okay. And then I have these leaves. So I know for sure I probably need a leaf. For sure I probably need a leaf right here. And then since it's a little wet, let's just bend it. And I need to shove it into the flower. Okay. And then, let's see, I could use a leaf. I've got one more. Ooh, I need one here too. I might have to whip out another. I've got one down here. But I need another leaf. But we'll do that. I'll do that later. Then what I want to kind of do with you if I can, I don't know how much of the wet, oh here I've got one more flower I found. Let's just stick it on right below this other, I've got a leaf over here, so let's throw that on there. It's still wet too, I made it while I was waiting on Tammy to finish. But yeah, so as they dry, they get whiter. It's weird because sometimes it stays gray, and I'm not sure why that is. But anyway, okay, so there's that. Then what I want to do is take my Country Chic paint. I've got Cheesecake here, which is just a creamy color. And let me see if I can get some, yeah, get enough out of there. Okay, these FIFO bottles sometimes are amazing and sometimes are a pain in the butt. Literally, sometimes. So, here we go. So I just squirted some out. FIFO is first in, first out. If you don't know about those bottles, it has a squeezy, like a spot here, and you store it upside down. You fill it up here, so then your fresh paint comes out first. But it always seems like right here. See, I had a big clump where it dried up in the end of it. So I'm not sure it's all that great. Kelly Weiler from Girl Up Cycle Studio wasn't in love with them, but I thought it was the coolest thing. So I went ahead and bought them, and I probably should have listened to her. She's the artist, not me. But I invested in them. Okay, so I'm not going to kill this completely down with the white, or with the cheesecake. I'm very delicate here, okay? Like a lot of these flowers are still wet. I was making them today. Some of them I already had made, but a lot of them I made today. Just to ensure that we would have time here together to get enough on here to where you could see it. But you can see that I can easily, like once I get it all done, if I need more, I can still add on top and just paint that one out that I add. I can still add. So I'm not, you know, I'm not too...
I didn't get that.
Oops. Oh, my watch is talking. She didn't get it. You didn't get it. Oh man, oh my gosh. I wasn't talking to you. But I really need to dig in here. I need to dig in here with these flowers. I don't mind a little bit of that black showing, but I don't want the black showing all around the flowers. So I'm really gonna have to dig in. But like I said, I don't wanna, number one, I don't wanna pop them off. And so, yeah, and I need to like artist brush underneath. And then the other thing that I need to decide once I get it all painted in, if there's too much of a gap between the frame and the flowers, if they look like they're just floating and not molded, what I'll do, I've done this before and it works great, is use drywall caulking, not drywall, just regular paintable caulking. I'm sorry, not drywall caulking. Yours does that. Yeah, I wasn't even talking to her. I must have bumped it. I don't know. Anyway, I'll use caulking with my finger and fill in that gap so that it will look completely molded to this piece. Okay, it'll look as molded as these are. And I did a picture frame quite a while ago now, just a real cheap Dollar Tree frame, and added a bunch, I built up a whole bunch of flowers like this on this frame all the way around, completely covered the whole frame. Oh, it might have been a Hobby Lobby frame. It doesn't matter. A cheap frame. And I did that with the caulking. And I think at the time I used mortar flowers. I used mortar mix, white mortar mix. And so the flowers were real kind of gritty and stony feeling. They had a real cool, you know, these are going to be very soft to the touch, where the others were real stone. They had a real gritty, I don't know how else to explain it, just a stony, you know, like grout in your tile is kind of has a stone feel to it. It would be like that. So now we're getting to where I'm not sure I can, but I really want to. Oh, it almost looks the same because the clay is still wet, but you see it's really, really wet, so it's probably going to take on brush marks and stuff. But what I want to do is get down in these flowers and get them all painted out as well. And get my bird painted, but I don't want him to take on any of the brush marks of my brush. He is super, I mean, I'm telling you guys, this is really, really soft. So the flowers are soft. There's some glue dripping. So I really am kind of pushing it here, but I really want you to get the idea anyway. Even though I knew I would, I think I did this the last, Tammy, your last event, I didn't finish either. I don't know why I pick your events to do the more time-consuming things. I don't know. I knew it would be fabulous though. I was hoping anyway. I sure was. But honestly, I was just going to do a big cluster. The bird thing was a last minute idea because I was going to add the nest, but I really love the idea of the bird. I wish I knew how to do a bird. You guys, I'm sure there's someone out there that could whip a bird out that will look a million times better than mine. But, you know, he's fine for me. He's fine for me. That's only the, you know, that's only the second bird I've made. I tell you the truth. Truth is, I made one earlier. Just to practice, just when the idea struck me, I thought, I wonder if I can. You think I can do that? And so I'll show them to you because they are a little bit different. But yeah, I need to get rid of a little bit more of the black. I really, really need to get rid of more of the black. But I'm not really minding it in there so much as I thought I would. It kind of adds to the dark depths of the frame, like where, because I've kind of consistently left a little bit of the black showing. I'm not sure I'm minding the black. Now underneath him, I see that line underneath him. I definitely need that to go away. And like right in here, I see some that I wouldn't really want that to show that much. But if I go screwing around in there, I'm afraid I'm gonna leave brush marks on him. Or like move, yeah, see I just broke a petal off, move how the petals are, and I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to do any more like that. But anyway, here you go, here's my brilliant idea. And I think he's going to be really cute. But so literally I truly was going to do a nest. It's right here, and then I have those oh gosh, I have those paper mache eggs to put in it. So I truly was thinking of adding that, but I really like the bird better. I totally like the bird better. And then I told you too that I made a bird right here. Here he is. Oops, I've smashed his beak. Hang on. So this is the bird that I added the beak to. And his eyes are a little bit smaller. And on him, I like the second one better. See, you know how you do something first for practice? And again, I need to pinch this in. I feel like it looks like I don't know. I'm not sure I have an actual bird tail going on here. I think it gets longer. Let's see if I might be able to bail him out and use him, put him on a stand. Where I really originally, oh gosh, months and months ago, yes, I lost a part of one of the petals broke off, but I'm not even sure I can find which one it was. It's just this little, oh, and here is a ball. I dropped a ball. Let's see, where's that at? I had 4 in each. No, I can't even tell. I had 4 in one of these, but there's one for that one and one for that one, 3 in that one and 3 in that one. So I'm okay. It's a ball. And then this is just a piece of the petal that fell off. I think it's fine. Anyway, okay, so let me show you. So here's a little bird. This was the first bird that I made. And where I got the bright idea for the bird thing, oh, see, I was trying to pull on it and I split it, was from, the little, my little blue bird, Amanda. Who watches her? See, it's been so long since I saw her do it. But she put a bird like this, and she took a dowel rod. I don't have a dowel rod right here, but and she stuck it up in the bird like this, and then she made a clay block, like a square. I've messed up his tail really bad, but let me see if I can show you. No, it was bigger than that. she made a block, and then she painted her bird. She's an artist, so she hand painted her bird. I think I've got paint all over me. Hand painted her bird, and it was adorable. So what we could do would be, we could probably hand paint some flowers on its body. Her bird was much bigger, but she made a block. It was more square, like an inch, like an inch high, an inch. Amanda Hilburn is her name. With the, I think it's the Bluebird Gallery. I know it's Amanda Hilburn. But she's an artist, and I love her flowers. I followed and met her in a group years ago, a crafting group, like a crafting coaching group. So I don't have a dowel rod right here with me, but pretend this blue thing is a dowel rod, and then she put her bird on like that. So this was how I ever even knew I could do a bird, was I watched her do a bird. But I've totally annihilated his tail. But anyway, so like that. And then she painted the base. She painted like flowers on the base, and she painted the dowel rod, and she painted the bird, and it was beautiful. And I thought, oh my gosh, I want to make one of those. Well, now that I know I could, and she did hers like this. I don't think she did her wings like that, but I'm loving my stinking wings. I love those a lot. I think that is just so cute. I kind of impressed myself there with that. So tomorrow I'll be able to paint him out. He may not even be dry tomorrow. It might take a couple of days, but I'm sure that the wings will be dry enough. And then everything will be all painted the same color. I don't know whether to lay it down. I think I'll just, you know what I'm going to do? I think tonight for the evening, I think I'll prop it up just like this so that it's kind of vertical, but everything won't slide off. So I think I'll go that. I'll just leave it up on top of my my bottle of for the stamps. Anyway, but yeah, use your stamps, you guys. If you're like, I can't make a flower like that, just take a bigger stamp and just keep piling smaller, not stamps, molds, and keep piling different molds on top, and you can create a bigger flower that way and get a little dimension that way, I'm sure. So anyway, let's see, what time is it? Oh, I still have like 7 minutes. What do you want to talk about? So I'm glad you guys like it. I know what we can talk about. I want to show you, my hair's a mess. I want to show you our most recent project in my group while you're here. This was I totally did not plan this, but we do have time. So, you know how I've been dressing up shoes with flowers. Well, we did a shoe and laced it with buttons and this was a high heel shoe, and it has like the old leather where it was attached to it's like a shoe last, do they call it? I always just called them shoe molds, but everybody was correcting me that it's a shoe last. And then I added this old picture to it, and then I added like the gold paint and the little rusty paper clip, a little bit of lace at the top, and this was one of the projects that we did in our group, and I love how it turned out. And then the other project, the girls in my group haven't seen this yet, but this is one of the things that we are going to do for this month. I made a kind of a prototype, and I'm going to show them how to do one. I'm going to make another one with them, but I used a porcelain doll head and put it on an old bottle, and I used a clock spring for underneath her dress. You can see the spring. You can, in person, you can see through it and see the spring. And then this beautiful little watch. I've never seen one like this. It's hand-painted porcelain. So it's definitely a lady's watch. And then did some fur. And then Susie Strother is one of my followers. She's in my group as well. And she sent me a whole box full of yummy, fun, antique things. And this was one of the items, was this hat. And it was for a bigger doll. And so I kind of smushed it together and made it for her head and made it a little smaller than what it really was. But then we did like a bunting in the back. There you can see the spring in the back. Did a bunting in the back of just seam binding, stained seam binding. But yeah, so we're going to talk about how to find the perfect bottle. This was a lamp part. This piece right here was a lamp part that I threaded through. But we're going to talk about finding the perfect bottle and the best way to cover, and how to attach the doll head is a big thing. And anyway, so yeah, I hope you guys like her. She's a keeper. She's the first one I did. To like the first one I did and keep it is a big thing. So I put her back there, so she's handy. But that'll be the first project up for our group for the month of April. So anyway, I'm excited about that. Let's see, what time is it? Oh gosh, I still have, do I have any questions? Oh yeah, I only have 4 minutes. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. It's fun. It's fun to try and come up with ideas for the group. Sometimes it's stressful because I try to do different things. I try not to do the same thing over and over. So I always try to come up with at least three different things each month. And I've got a couple that I really, really love for this month, so I'm super excited. To get into the group is TammyLovesVintage.com, and then there's a link there for Tammy's Making. It's $20 a month, and I've been doing it since 2019, so there are tons and tons of videos that are under the guides at the top once you're in the group. But it's TammyLovesVintage.com, and it's $20 a month. We'd love to have you. Yeah, I think we got some good stuff this month. And you can also see everything that we've done in the past. So there you go, TammyLovesVintage.com, or you can private message me and I can send you the link. So I appreciate you all being here. I have a couple more minutes. I look back, I guess it was clay. Yes, it was all out of clay. It's this, I just use a big box of clay from Hobby Lobby. It's a 25-pound box. I can hardly carry it. And you know, it's amazing. I think I'd like to lose 25 pounds and I can hardly carry that. I think I have that on me. Like, how do I, yeah, that's a lot. And where is it? Like I don't know. It's weird when you think about it like that, right? So here was our project. If you missed it, or if you joined late, these flowers were already molded into the frame, but I added all of the other dimensional flowers all around. And then I made the bird, the duck bird, and I'm not able to completely finish it, but I think I got it pretty good. You guys will be able to see how to do it if you catch the replay. So I appreciate you watching. If you're not in the group for this event, if you just type in CCC on Facebook, it's a free group. She'll let you in, and there's been all kinds of great crafters. I had it in my stories. I think I posted on my page. Well, she only asked me a couple days ago, but that whenever it was, it's there, and you can see all of the vendors, all of the crafters for the day. It's been going on, I think, since like 1 o'clock, and there's a few more after me. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Tammy, for having me. It's always fun to be in your group and share my ideas. So you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.